Welcome back to our UGCNet the preparation series episode 2. Let's begin with our question number 11. The question is, which work of Francis Bacon explains the new logic or inductive method of reasoning? Here are the options. Option 1, Apophthegm. Option History of Henry V. II. Option 3, Novum Organum. Option 4, De Augmentis Scientiarum. Which of these Latin titles signals a fundamental break with the past and a new tool for human understanding? Just think about it. Yes, the correct answer is option 3, Novum Organum. Here is the crucial background. Francis Bacon is often called the father of empiricism and the scientific method. His great work Novum Organum, which translates to new instrument or new tool, was published in 1620. It was a direct challenge to the ancient system of deductive logic laid down by Aristotle in his work called the Organum. Bacon's new instrument was the inductive method. He argues from scientific observations and experiments to broader general theories. This is the foundation of modern scientific inquiry. The other works are by Bacon, but they don't serve this specific purpose. Apophthegm is a collection of witty sayings. The History of Henry V. II is a historical work. De Augmentis is an enlargement of his earlier work on the advancement of learning, but it is not the primary text for his inductive method. So, for the systematic explanation of the inductive method, the definitive text is Bacon's Novum Organum. Remember this key phrase, Novum Organum, Bacon's new instrument for science. Let's continue to question 12. Let's listen. The question is, all happy families are alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. It is the opening line of which novel? Here are some options. Option 1, Anna Karenina. Option 2, War and Peace. Option 3, 1984. Option 4, Jane Eyre. Just think over it. Have you identified? The correct answer is option 1, Anna Karenina. Here is a short explanation of this answer. The iconic sentence is the very first line of Leo Tolstoy's masterpiece, Anna Karenina. It was published in serial installments between 1875 and 1877. It immediately establishes the novel's central theme, a deep exploration of social norms, family, adultery, and the unique complexities of personal unhappiness. The question is, which of the following novels of Thomas Hardy was first published in an abridged form as Heart's Insurgent? Here are the options. The Mayor of Casterbridge, Jude the Obscure, Far from the Madding Crowd, The Return of the Native. Think about it. Are you ready? The correct answer is option 2, Jude the Obscure. Here is a short explanation to help you remember. Thomas Hardy's final novel, Jude the Obscure, is known for its stark criticism of marriage, social class, and religious hypocrisy. Because its content was considered very shocking and controversial for the Victorian era, when it was first serialized in Harper's New Monthly magazine in 1894-95, it was published under the title Heart's Insurgent. The word insurgent hints at the rebellious themes of the story. When it was later published in its complete full-length form as a book in 1895, it reverted to its original title, Jude the Obscure. Question 14 asks us to identify a statement that is not true about a literary classic. Pay close attention. The question is, what among the following is not true about Anna Karenina? Here are the options. Option 1, the novel was published in 1872. Option 2, the novel is written in 8 parts. Option 3, it tells the story of two major characters, Anna and Levin. And option 4, the novel is revolutionary in its treatment of women. Think about it a while. Have you found it? Yes, the correct answer is option 1. The novel was published in 1872. Let's have a short explanation. Option 1 is false. Anna Karenina was not published in 1872. It was first serialized in the periodical The Russian Messenger between 1875 and 1877. The book form was published in 1878. Option 2 is true. The novel is indeed structured in 8 parts. Option 3 is true. The novel is famous for its dual narrative. It follows the tragic story of Anna and the philosophical journey of the landowner Levin. Option 4 is also true. The novel was considered revolutionary for its profound and sympathetic exploration of a woman's inner life, desires, and social predicament in a rigid society. So the incorrect statement is the one about the publication date. The correct time frame is 1875 to 1877. Okay, now let's proceed to question 15. The question is, I am a sick man, I am a spiteful man, I am an unattractive man, I think my liver is diseased. These are the opening lines of, here are the options. Option 1, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Love in the Time of Cholera, Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground, Albert Camus, The Plague, Daniel Defoe's A Journal of the Plague Year. Just think about it. Do you know the answer? The correct answer is option 2, Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground. Here is a short explanation. The opening instantly introduces us to the underground man, the nameless, alienated and hyper-conscious narrator of Dostoevsky's novella. Notes from Underground 1864 is considered as a foundational text of existentialist literature. The narrator's sickness is not just physical but spiritual and philosophical. It is a kind of rejection of rationalism and utopian ideals. His spite and self-awareness set the stage for a profound critique of modern society and human nature. Okay, let's move on to the question 16. The question is, a portmanteau is, here are the options. Option 1, a word which sounds the same but has different meanings. Option 2, a word that results from blending two or more words or part of words. Option 3, creation of new words without reference to the existing morphological resources. And option 4, copying a word that originally belonged to one language into another language. Think about the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer is option 2, a word that results from blending two or more words or part of words. Here is a simple breakdown with classic examples. A portmanteau is precisely defined as a linguistic blend of words where part of multiple words are combined to create a new one. The term was popularized by Lewis Carroll in Through the Looking Glass. For example, SMOG, smog is equal to smoke plus fog. BRUNCH, brunch is equal to breakfast plus lunch. MOTEL, motel is equal to motor plus hotel. Let's see why the other options are incorrect. Option 1 describes a homophone, that is where and weird. Option 3 is too unclear and doesn't describe the specific blending process. Option 4 describes a lone word. How many major forms of drama have been described by Bharata in his Manual of Dramaturgy? Here are the options. Option 1, 7. Option 2, 3. Option 3, 4. And option 4, 10. Just think about it. Are you ready? Yes, the correct answer is option 4, 10. Here is the key detail from the seminal text. The manual being referred to is the Natya Shastra attributed to the sage Bharata Muni. This is an ancient and encyclopedic treatise on the performing arts encompassing drama, music and dance. In the Natya Shastra, Bharata systematically describes 10 principal types of drama which are known as the Dasarupaka. from Dasa meaning 10 and Rupaka meaning drama or form. These 10 major forms include genres like the Nataka, heroic play, Prakarana, social play and Viti among others. So the definitive answer of major dramatic forms outlined by Bharata in the Natya Shastra is 10. Remember the term Natya Shastra, Dasa Rupakas, 10 major forms. Okay, let's continue to question 18. Who among the following is the earliest available Indian dramatist? Here are the options: Bhavabhuti, option 2 Kalidas, option 3 Bhasa, option 4 Rajasekhar. Just think about it. Have you got the answer? Yes, the correct answer is option 3 Bhasa. Here is the chronological context that secures this answer. Among the options given, Bhasa is considered the earliest known Sanskrit dramatist whose works have survived. He predates the most famous Kalidas, who often draws inspiration from Bhasa's plays. Kalidas even references Bhasa in his own work. Bhavabhuti and Rajasekhar came significantly later, as they belong to the 8th and 9th century respectively. Remember this literary chronology: Bhasa, then comes Kalidasa, then comes Bhavabhuti, and finally it is the turn of Rajasekhar. Okay, now let's proceed to question 19. The question is, who of the following was the immediate predecessor of the drama proper? Here are the options. Option 1 the interlude, option 2 the morality play, option 3 the miracle play, option 4 the liturgical play. Think about it for a while. Yes, the correct answer is option 2 the morality play. Here is a quick explanation to help you remember. First, it began with liturgical plays. They are short performances in Latin based on Bible stories. They are staged inside churches. These developed into miracle plays. These were longer, community-based cycles depicting biblical history. They are performed in the vernacular outside the church. The next key development was the morality play, like Everyman. These moved away from biblical figures and used allegorical characters like good deeds, death, or vice to teach moral lessons. The morality plays focus on internal moral struggles through personified characters. The question is, which of the following qualities of heroic treatment was not needed in the plays of the university wits? Here are the options. Option 1, splendid descriptions. Option 2, long swelling speeches. Option 3, the handling of violent incidents and emotions. Option 4, lives of common figures. Just think for a while. Yes, the correct answer is option 4, lives of common figures. Here is a quick explanation to help you remember. The university wits were a group of highly educated playwrights including Christopher Marlowe, Robert Greene and Thomas Kidd, who set the stage for Shakespeare. Their plays were known for their heroic and grand style. They focused on splendid descriptions, long swelling speeches, and the handling of violent incidents and emotions. Their protagonists were great figures like Dr. Faustus, not everyday people. The lives of common figures was a theme that would be later developed by Shakespeare and others. But it was not a characteristic of the university wits' heroic treatment. Finally, thanks for watching. Kindly consider subscribing my channel. I will come with new and informative videos